Good morning, students. In the last lecture, we have discussed about charge, concept of charge, properties of charge, and the basics of electrostatics. Here, today we will discuss about Coulomb's law. About Coulomb's law. What is this law told? That if the two static charges like Q1 and Q2 we are taking, if the two static charges, I am repeating my word, that is static. If two static charges are separated by a definite distance in the space, then the force of attraction between them is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. What is about this law? This law says that if two static charges are separated by definite distance in the space, then the force of attraction between them is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So we can conclude that according to this law, if two static charges are separated by definite distance in the space, then the force of attraction between them is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them, I'm repeating it again. What this law says? This law says that if two static charges separated by definite distance in the space, I repeat, that is definite distance in the space, then the force of attraction between them is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. By equation 1 and 2, if we combining equation 1 and 2, we get what we are getting here, that is F is directly proportional to the product of Q1 and Q2 upon R squared. We know that when proportionality sign is being replaced, then another constant comes here. The constant 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught comes. Here, constant 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught comes. This is Coulomb force. Here, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square, and epsilon naught is also called permittivity of free space. Its value is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. We have written here. Now, What are the limitations of Coulomb's law? What are the limitations? It holds good for a point charge at rest. It holds good for point charge at rest. Second one is that it is basically an experimental law. It is basically an experimental law. And for distance less than 10 to the power minus 15 meter, it loses its validity. That means below 10 to the power minus 15 meter, it does not hold good, or it loses its validity. And it is a medium dependent law. You can say that it is medium dependent law. That means the dielectric constant can play a good role here. Moving further, there is another topic that is Coulomb's law. That is Coulomb's law in vector form. How can we prove Coulomb's law in vector form? Here we can find out. How can we prove Coulomb's law in vector form? Let us consider two of the charges, say Q1 and Q2, are separated by definite distance small r, as we were saying in the last one. Let the force acting on Q1 charge can be represented like F12. It is always speaking like force acting on first charge due to second one. What is that? Force on acting first charge due to second one. This is F12. And from here we can write this, that is F21. What is the distances can be taken? Here R12 can be taken, and from here it can be R21. This one is unit vector. So, according to Coulomb's law, F12 can be represented like what is that? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square, and there would be R21, that is a unit vector. Similarly, F21 can be written like 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square R12. This can be considered as question number 1, and this can be considered as question number 2. But we have R12 is always equal to minus R21. That is, F21 can be represented like minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. This one is R21. It can be converted into R21. And this is the value of what? F12. Then it can be written like F21 can be equal to the minus sign of the vector of F12. This also that is Coulomb's law agrees Newton's third law, agrees with Newton's third law of motion.